Working from home has been the normal for many people in the last year and a half. But as more Canadians get vaccinated, many employers are asking employees to return to work in the coming months.
Your employer can say, we're going to go back to normal, whatever your normal was pre-COVID.
Employment lawyer Lior Samfiru says this applies to all Canadians who worked on-site pre-pandemic.
Even if you've been working from home for a long time, even if you've been doing it successfully and without an issue.
Stats Canada says the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly increased the amount of people who are working from home. At the beginning of this year, 32% of Canadians said they worked remotely, but in 2016, that number was only at 4%. Samfiru says employees will have to return to their workplaces if their employer asks.
The refusal to go back to work may be considered abandonment of a job.
Unless you were working from home pre-pandemic, then Samfiru says an employer can't change your terms of employment. The only exception to the rule is a note from your doctor
saying that for health reasons, you can't go work in the office, you can only work remotely. Your employer has to accommodate that.
If you're uncomfortable going back to work, he recommends talking to your employer about a gradual return to work or other alternatives. But if you do go back to your workplace and feel unsafe because health guidelines are not being followed by your employer, you can refuse to go into work and report them.
Once you refuse work, you cannot be punished. An inspector from the Ontario government or the government in any province has to come in and determine whether the workplace is safe.
But if all goes well and you feel safe at your office, but not with your actual job, Samfiru says you don't have to suck it up.
You cannot be forced to take a pay cut. You cannot be forced to change your hours of work or days of work, change your shifts from morning to afternoons, or be demoted.
He says significant changes can be taken as constructive dismissal, and employees can leave and ask for severance. As for vaccine status,
unless the government mandates vaccines for a specific industry, an employer cannot require an employee to be vaccinated, and in fact cannot even demand to know whether the employee has had the vaccine.
But if the government does mandate vaccines in certain industries and you refuse a vaccine,
you're going to be let go without any compensation, no severance. You would not qualify for any government benefits.
If you do feel your employer is breaching the law, Samfiru recommends reaching out to an employment lawyer. Many also do free consultations to learn about your rights. Sharmeen Somani, Global News.